Calling all rivals. Only the fastest. Calling the grudge holders who would sell it all to break the tape. I accomplished everything you dream about. 4 gold medals, 8 world championships, cover of Time magazine, all that. But I never got to face my most bitter rival under the bright lights. 4 times every year. Real money on the line. That's probably why you don't even know his name. Calling all rivals. We're about to change this game.
I'm excited. Officially, I'm excited, and every track fan should be as well. Thanks for staying with us. A special good morning to our friends on YouTube. Well, the winnings just don't stop. We're in the presence of track and field royalty this morning. 4-time Olympic champion Michael Johnson has officially launched his new track league, the Grand Slam Track, GST. The competition's first slam event will take place in April of 2025 at the headquarters in Los Angeles. This will be followed by 3 additional meets later in the summer. Johnson joins us to share the announcement before the press conference that happens later today. Welcome, Sir Michael Johnson. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm great. Great. Good to be here.
Well, first of all, as a professional, as somebody who's seen it and done it all, how important is raising the standard of meets? Because it's not just about running a lot and competing at a lot of things, right, but raising the standard of meets important to developing an athlete's career?
Yeah, it's important to developing an athlete's career, but where we have a problem is it's important to elevate the standard of meet for fans. Fans are who support the athletes. So without that support, which is what we typically see in the years where there is no Olympic Games, as an example. Right. So this year, tremendous support in Paris for track and for track athletes, right, and then that build up. But once it's over, then that support goes away because the fans can't find the athletes. They can't find the meets because the meets aren't significant enough. So what we're doing with Grand Slam Track is raising the level of the standard of track meets. We are innovating in this space, recreating track for modern times and for a modern fan base and audience so that they get that same excitement, that same storytelling, that same build-up that you get every 4 years. Now with Grand Slam Track, you get that 4 times every year. And you do that by taking the best of the best athletes, the true professional athletes. Only about 10 to 15% of the athletes in this sport are actually professional. The others are trying to get there, but they're all lumped in together. So what we're doing is taking the true professionals, the elite, best of the best athletes, and creating their own league exclusively for them. So what you see in other sports, where you have the halo of the NBA or the Champions League or UFC.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This feels like the Champions League. It's a league that sounds like it's going to be lucrative. You're hoping that at the end of the day, sponsorship follows attention. And you're hoping that this will generate the attention from the fans, that they'll be excited about it, that the sponsors will come and make then a lucrative career for the athletes who will be participating in it. Are you confident that if you build it, they will come, meaning the sponsors?
I am, because this is the same model. What you just described is the same model for every successful sports league. You generate a significant fan base around an amazing product, which is the great athletes, and you storytell around those athletes, and you create amazing competition between them, between the best. Fans will then come, and it's the fans that drive television, media, broadcast rights deals. It drives sponsorship. That becomes the sustainable model then that allows a sport to thrive, and then allows athletes then to thrive and be treated as the true professionals that they are.
You know, I look back at footage of you winning those years ago. It feels like a long time now.
It was a long time ago.
But you know, I mean, Jamaicans were paying attention at that time to you, and they began once again their relationship with you, I think, evolved when Usain Bolt burst onto the scene, and the way you analyzed track, the way you called meets, there was a genuine excitement within you that we all identified with. And I think that there was another generation of track athletes who began to follow and appreciate you. Why is it important for you to come and build on a connection with Jamaica in the Jamaican context and to have this event they're having here today?
Yeah, I mean, as a historian of the sport myself, understanding the impact that Jamaica has had globally on the sport of track and field it's a story in itself. I mean, this is a country of less than 3 million people, but competes head-to-head, toe-to-toe with a country of 300 million people in the U.S. in track and field. I mean, and it has that impact. And I think that, when you go around the world like I do, you see that people think about, the first thing they think about with Jamaica is sprinting and track. Yes. That's the first thing they think about. Yeah. Right. And so I think it's important for us as the new league in this sport who's trying to innovate in this sport and recreating the sport to also honor that. One of the things that we are certainly, very, very ambitious about is also honoring the heritage of the sport as well while we're recreating it for modern times, staying true to the heritage of the sport. And Jamaica is certainly a part of that. And our events, our Grand Slam track events, are speed festivals. It's not a track meet in the traditional sense that you would think of. It is a sort of combination of head-to-head competition, athlete racing at its absolute best, but also culture. And we want to infuse culture into each one of our events. And so when you think about the culture of Jamaica, it's a very rich culture. You think about the fact that this is one of the sprint capitals of the world. There's no better place for us. So it's we're really excited to be coming here to Kingston for one of our 4 slams. There are 4, and Kingston will be one of them. And we think that it's going to be one of the ones that people are most excited about.
I suspect so. And so later today, there is a press conference. I know you're building up to a crescendo, so I don't want to create an anticlimax, but what can you share with us here this morning?
Yeah, so, we're excited to come to Kingston. We are, excited that, we've got Jamaican athletes that we've already signed to the league. They're excited to be competing here on home soil in what will be one of the biggest 4 events in the world of track next year. And so what we're trying to do now is get fans excited by letting them know, what we're doing, when it's going to be, and when ticket sales will go on sale. Visiting our website, grandslamtrack.com, following us on social media, Grand Slam Track, on all platforms to see what we're doing. We're already starting to putting out content that celebrates the athletes and the sport. We've been doing that for some time now. And outside of, we will continue that. Outside of just our 4 slams every year, we will continue to promote this sport year-round, whether it's World Championships or our athletes, Grand Slam track racers competing in other races, Diamond League, for example, or their national championships. We will continue to storytell around these athletes, which is important for fans to get to know the athletes and understand who they are and their journey to how they got here, and also the struggles of what it takes to be a world-class athlete, and certainly celebrating the victories as well.
Absolutely. I'm sure that some Jamaicans would love to see you in the country around the time of Boys and Girls Champs, which is a festival like none other in the world, indeed.
Yeah, and I think, they've gotten that right. I mean, I've paid attention to that meet for years. It is, it's part of what you think about when you think about track in Jamaica, champs and everyone coming out and supporting young athletes and these, potentially being the next superstars that are going to represent the country. It's a very exciting time, and it's just a natural connection with, where you went to school and who you're supporting.
Yes.
But we need to try to bring that same sort of energy around the professional athletes. Every other sport has that sort of support at the top level for the professional athletes. That's a structural issue that has been missing with track, and we're bringing that with Grand Slam Track.
Looking forward to it. Well, you've heard of the UEFA Champions League. You've heard of the Indian Premier League, the National Basketball Association, the NBA. Now, Grand Slam Track is the next big thing. Our guest has been Michael Johnson, 4-time Olympic champion, founder of Grand Slam Track. There's more sunrise on the horizon. Stay with us.